Blessings and welcome to another video. So this video is meant to help attune you to the vibration of the wish fulfilled or living happily ever after. This is all remembering that we're living in a frame of reference. Our beliefs are nothing more than thoughts that we continue to think. A thought is not just something you think with your brain. A thought is a vibration that you receive, right? So when you tune your receiver, when you tune your antenna, you set your tuning fork to a certain frequency, you're open to the thought streams that exist in that frequency, the vibrational energy of well-being, of abundance, of flow, of creativity is already here. It's already in the field. We simply tune ourselves to that reality by embodying that version of ourselves. And a simple way of this is becoming aware of your vibration. So living in the wish fulfilled is living in the end state. People think that they'll be happy when they finally get the manifestation. They think, oh, if I only have this amount of money, or if only these people would change their behavior. And as soon as you do that, here's a little experiment of awareness. Feel into that thought. As soon as you start thinking about that, can you feel your energy going out? And now try bringing your energy within. Feel your solar plexus, right? Feel your own power. And now feel the energy of happiness within yourself. Tune to that vibration first within. Can you feel the difference? Can you feel how what we seek in the manifestation of things is nothing more but a feeling that we find within ourselves? This is one of the secrets. And it's also how, as eternally expanding spiritual beings having a human experience, we come into this experience and we experience the law of diversity or contrast, the yin and the yang, the shadow and the light. And from this perspective, that all of our experiences are like sifting and sorting of data or information through which we discover what we don't like, we discover what we do like. And through those preferences, we are able to focus into the larger part of who we are, larger aspect of who we are. You can call this being, you could call this source, you could call this God, you could call this consciousness, but whatever you call this larger aspect of who you are, syncing up with our totality, we realize that we can self-source the feeling state. So remember that the secret is in the feeling. The secret is in the vibration. I've recently been listening to the audiobooks of Esther and Jerry Hicks' Teachings of Abraham called The Astonishing Power of Emotions. And in the opening, Jerry said something very interesting, because if you remember the movie The Secret, the first one, they included Abraham, which is a very deep, pure transmission of the law of attraction. But they ended up actually editing it out when the movie went big, right? And became the thing that everybody knows today, because they felt, and at first the editors came and said they had to edit out the word vibration. They ended up taking out the whole thing because they felt that people wouldn't be able to get it yet. What was really interesting is that Jerry said he had studied Think and Grow Rich. I've also studied this, but he said that when he was looking, Napoleon Hill referred to The Secret, right? And of all of his times of reading it, he could not figure out what it was. And then later on, he discovered an unabridged version of which the word vibration had been edited out like 23 times or something like that. And thought it was interesting that, again, the same thing was happening, where the same information was being suppressed, or perhaps for marketing sakes, so that people could receive it. So the feeling is the secret, and our feeling is how we sense vibration. It's really interesting because looking at these principles, there's a common thing, there's a common thread between of understanding the state of the I am, right? The I am becomes whatever follows. So if you say, I am poor, or I am rich, when you become one with whatever the I am is being, you become one with whatever the seed of that desire is expressing. So in becoming one with the wish fulfilled, you assume the end state. You assume embodying and being as if you were that version of yourself, and feeling the vibrations, thinking how that version of yourself would think. And as you start to use this, and especially the gateway between sleeping and waking, because there's an access point, whether or not you call it the subconscious mind, or you simply call it your inner being or your vibration or whatever you call it, there's a receptivity in our consciousness at that point. And one thing that I've noticed is that when we meditate, it opens us into a receiving mode to be able to tune into the wish fulfilled, to tune into that end state. So if you want to have more money, what is the money is not a feeling, right? But what is the feeling that you would want to have? You want to experience freedom. So focusing on the feeling of freedom, you want a relationship, or you want more love in your life, you want to be more appreciated by people. Well, feeling loved, loving yourself, right? Feeling appreciation, you can self-source all of these emotional states. And when you become a vibrational match to the emotional state, the manifestations will naturally start to come into your experience, because it's like living in a stream, right? When you try to paddle upstream, you're fighting against the current. But when you let go and you flow, you have all the force of the momentum of all of the experiences that have caused you to realize what your dreams and desires are. And when you realize that and blend with the totality of who you are becoming, that current sweeps you up. And that's like, now you're living in the wish fulfilled. Now you're living your happily ever after, and you're telling the story. That's also the power of when you're working with affirmations. Don't just emptily say them or say the same one over and over and over again. I found that doesn't really work, because it's all a feeling game. If you're not feeling inspired to affirm something, don't, let go, open up. You've got to mold the clay. We came here as these sculptors of creation. We are gifted with this power to create. So as we become one with our source, assume the state of I am. I am that I am. I am. Attach no condition to the I am at first, and simply meditate in stillness. Open your state of receptivity to the energy, the well-being, the inspiration that already is there. And then you will become inspired, and the ideas, the creativities, the inspirations will come to you. The vision, the grid will fill in itself. So then you're not trying to make it happen, trying to visualize. Trying is a force of struggle. When you allow this art of allowing, when you allow yourself to flow with the current and to become one with that vision and feel yourself as though you already are living your dream life. This is the key. So if you'd like to dive deeper into some practices, here's a free meditation. Isn't it wonderful how blessed I am to dial into the frequency of well-being, of realizing how abundant everything is. I mean, you can't even sit there and count how many stars in the sky, and you probably can't even see all of them with your naked eye. The grains on the ocean, billions of them on one shore. Abundance is everywhere. And so when we recognize that we are already living in this beautiful, blessed earth, and we start to open ourselves to tell the story of ourselves living our wish fulfilled, living the magic of a blessed life, living our happily ever after, we are now in a process of creation. We are now in a process of scripting. And so it's this beautiful allowing and intending, and the dance, the harmony, the balance between those things of being able to tune in and being able to align ourselves with best possible scenario outcomes every time, because an expectation is nothing more than a belief. When you remove the conditionality of thinking, you become unconditional, and thus you have the power to create. So thank you for tuning into the channel. If you like it, leave a comment. How does it resonate? Any ideas for future videos? And last but not least, hit subscribe, ring the bell if you want to be notified every time these attunements and transmissions come through. See you.